partly sunny 78 today. That drunk whore with the news on the way. Here's Tommy James.
And now, CheezWits.
How are you?
Oh, I'm just swell. How are you?
Well, you sound better than last week.
No, I feel okay this week.
Good. Did you make it to the doctor?
I did not.
You're such a dude.
I know. But I've been trying to self-medicate, and I've taken acid pills every day.
Oh.
And since I've taken the acid pills, my friend Frank is sitting right next to me in the car. Across the street, heading towards my old house. So I guess I should turn around and go see. No, I don't, because I don't have any cell service over there. But I've taken the acid reducer pills, and every day since I've done that, I felt fine.
Oh, acid reducer pills. I thought you were dropping acid, and I was like, well, that's one way to do it.
Not what I'm doing.
Where is your friend Wally?
I don't know.
Oh, there he is. Kind of.
Yeah. Oh,
power's out again. Jesus Christ.
no, it's not. No, I go to sign into my computer, my high-end technology, and it won't take my PIN code. Your PIN is no longer valid. Something went wrong with your PIN. It isn't available. Click to set up the PIN again. So I go to do that. I'm trying to do that. So, oh, sorry. Now you got to use a Gmail account to get this information. So I go to do that. Oh, sorry. You need to use a 2-step process for verification. I'm pulling my hair out of my head. And then Jody comes out and goes, hey, aren't you going on your podcast? Leave me alone.
Gail, what's the fucking pin, Gail? I could use fucking pin.
Could use Gail.
Meanwhile, Chris has been dropping acid, and that seems to be helping him. So.
Oh my! I'm telling you, Chris, you're dropping acid.
I'm dropping acid and playing with my pecker, Wally. She didn't hear me right. I was getting an acid reducer.
He said, I've been taking acid pills, so I felt better. And so
taking acid pills. You sound like your mother, my mother, who's sitting there saying, oh, Christopher, you have to stay away from those cocaine tablets. What the fuck?
See, I don't even know what the password is.
Try Gail.
Well, I would suggest starting with 0000 and increasing from there.
I just don't.
Can't you do forgot my password? This is going to be a whole episode of Wally trying to log into his computer. You're welcome, America.
Look, the password isn't good. Reset it now.
There you go.
Oh my God. I got to tell you, I have a code. Oh, let's see if it works.
I'm getting too old for this shit! ! 3.
You know what? I am, because I just tried to punch in the code, and of course the num lock isn't on the fucking number page, on the number thing on the 9 key.
This is like a whole circus. This is a whole cartoon.
It is. Oh, new password. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Okay, I'm not going to say it out loud. You know, do you ever do that when you're doing your password and you're saying, oh, hold on a second, I got to punch in my password, and you start saying your password out loud?
No.
You realize, like, oh, good Lord, I'm saying it.
No, I don't do that.
All right, here we go. Well, you're a better woman than I am.
This is true.
I just fucking hate this shit. And you know what I hate is it's not the shit I hate. I hate that we have to be this secure because there's so many cunts out there trying to steal all your shit from you. Every week I see somebody on Facebook that I know saying, oh, I was hacked.
Yeah.
Oh, I was hacked.
I don't think everybody entirely understands what's happening on Facebook, though, because a lot of times they're not hacked, they're cloned.
Right.
So changing your password won't help because somebody just went on your public shit and took your picture and made a new account.
Is that what happens? Someone makes a new account?
Well, sometimes, yeah.
Why do you know about all this shit, Jess? Why do you know about all this underhanded bullshit? What are you doing in your free time?
Very technologically savvy.
She is very savvy, and she also has nightly conversations with Peggy from the Microsoft.
How the fuck do they expect you to do this? It says, I can't sign on to the computer. Verify your identity by going to your Gmail. I fucking can't go to my Gmail because I can't sign into the computer, you fuck.
How about you pull up the Gmail on your phone, Boomer?
No, I don't have it on my fucking phone because I'm using my phone for this bullshit. But I have it on my laptop.
There you go.
You know what? Talk amongst yourselves. I'm leaving the room for a second.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
you have to leave the room. Is this like driving down the road and you're trying to find a location and you got to turn down your fucking radio to find it?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. He has to leave the room to find his Gmail.
Holy shit. You know, that's his Gale mail.
It certainly is his Gale. I don't know why we didn't think of that before.
Jeez.
So, what are we hearing? Is that your TV?
It's not mine. I'm in the car. It's got to be Wally's TV.
Well, Wally needs to turn that shit down.
Oh, no, I think it's fascinating to listen to. The liberal horse shit that he's listening to.
Oh, maybe it's not the TV. Maybe it's his wife, and you just called her liberal horse shit.
No. I heard the word CBS News.
Oh.
Yeah, that's because they broke in during football.
There you go.
Oh, my fuck me.
And now the saga continues.
Yeah, because while I went to check the email, the fucking computer reset.
Now the Gmail doesn't work. Now I got to check my H-mail, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, you know what? I checked the Gmail, and the Gmail said, "You can. If this was you trying to sign in, you can ignore this email." I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Times are hard right now. I mean, listen, I saw a commercial the other day. Have you guys seen this commercial with Sir Mix-a-Lot on a Chex commercial?
No.
And he has changed the lyrics to his most popular song to say, "I like my snacks and I cannot lie."
No, I have not seen that.
So times are tough for everybody. Poor Sir Mix-a-Lot's out here doing Chex commercials.
I love my snacks and they cannot lie. That General Mills, he denied.
He didn't say anything about getting sprung when he eats Chex, though.
I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
You know what we could do, Wally, is just be on the phone today.
Wait, hold on. Now it says it's emailed me a code.
Then you can work on your computer, another time.
Numlock. Every time the computer resets, you have to. I'm going to carry you with me.
Oh, here. Good.
I'm gonna carry you motherfuckers with me.
It's like a George Strait song.
Carrying your love with me.
Here you go. I'm carrying you with me. I'm going to mute that. I'm going to go over here. Unbelievable. What a bunch of bullshit.
This show is obviously going to be better than last week's show.
This is like listening to my father trying to figure out the cup holder in the front of his PC.
No, what? But what the fuck is all this double verification bullshit?
It's trying to keep you safe, and obviously it is.
So Peggy from the Microsoft can't bust into your shit.
Well, Peggy from Microsoft already did bust into my shit. That's why I'm having to do this double verification. Guys, you can unmute that.
The Microsoft.
Oh, my God. Oh, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Lord Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck.
What did it do?
It blanked out again. But it's all right because I put some fake numbers in. So that it couldn't.
Did you write down the code? Have you thought of bringing the laptop?
I wrote it down. It's right here.
Have you thought you're not supposed to share that code with anyone, Wally? Now you have to start all over again.
If you reset your PIN, apps might require you to sign in again. Oh, really? Like it'd be more of a pain in the ass than it's already been? And how does that happen, by the way?
Your computer probably updated or something.
Yeah, piece of shit. Include. Okay, I'm trying. I gotta see if this works, you guys. By the way, I guess Jess, I went back. I don't want to register that. Already registered. Thank you, Jess. I went back and I listened to I spoke to you last week about the show where I was speaking rather quickly.
Oh, you mean the one where my friend texted me and said, "What the hell is wrong with Wally?"
Yeah, the B vitamin show.
Yeah. Have you tried dropping acid?
No, I guess Chris is doing enough of that for the. Okay, look at this. I might get on here, you guys. This could happen.
I mean, we're all waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you're getting bait in your breath.
I don't know about you, Jess, but I can't bait to this.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make me feel sexy either.
It's very, very tough.
How are we?
Oh, there he is. Look at that. It only took 10 minutes.
Congratulations. Welcome to the program, Wally.
I can't. I hate that fucking. This is one of the reasons why I don't use Apple. Because I don't like the fucking double verification, this, blah, blah, blah.
Fucking everything's got it now.
Apple? I don't have to double verify on any of my Apple shit.
I don't know why. Listen, if it's because I'm fucking old and dumb. That's it. And now I got to look at the picture of this fucking guy. Let me close that down so I don't have to look at his face.
Whose face was it? Yours?
Wally,
no, I don't want to say who it is. Somebody I would call a friend.
Oh.
I don't want to say this, Wally, but listen.
Yes, you do.
My autistic brother, who is dead. In his current situation, he could have gotten into the computer faster than you. Okay? Including getting out of the box and walking from fucking Rest Haven back to the house.
Is that really where he is? Rest Haven?
Oh, Rest Haven, Gate of Heaven. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Rest Haven. Oh, my Lord.
Jesus.
Now I have to apologize to my wife after because I snapped at her because of the fucking Microsoft bullshit.
Why are you snapping at your wife? It's not her fault.
No, it's not her fault, but she was the one saying to me, "Aren't you going to do your show?" And I'm trying my level best to get onto the show, and I know that you guys are fucking just ripping me apart because I'm not there yet. Oh, okay.
We were only starting to rip you apart when you finally logged in because we were so busy talking about Chris's acid.
Yeah,
we were worried about my acid dropping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, so you only taking what? You only taking a couple microdots a day now instead of the full boat?
It's a Three's Company moment.
Acid? What is it?
It's the episode about the misunderstanding, Three's Company.
Mm-hmm.
And I was out in Winchester programming a station out there, and I was writing some stuff down in like I was starting like an online blog, but I had it saved to my local computer, but they were redoing my computer, so I had to move everything out to the network drive. And one day my boss, for some reason, goes into my network drive and reads about what I refer to as my Coke problem. Okay. Now, he pulls me into his office on a Friday afternoon and says, "Listen, we're going to get you help. We're going to get you counseling. You have next week off with pay." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "Well, it's clear that you're trying to harm yourself with your Coke problem." "Steve, what the fuck are you talking about?" "Well, we found this in your online drive, and we're concerned about you, and when you're a friend." I said, "Steve, my Coke problem." I walked down the hall to my office, came back with a bottle of Mexican Coke in glass. I said, "Steve, I got 24 of these on my floor. That's my Coke problem." And he's like, "Well, you've already got the week off work. We're going to have somebody evaluate you." I'm like, "Fine."
Nice.
Are you kidding?
So you can't make that shit up.
Your Coke problem is I'm pre-diabetic, but I'm still drinking tons of sugar. It's a problem for me.
This was 10 fucking years ago when this happened.
So
I'm like, good fucking God, man. I was like 2 months into the job. And these people think I'm a goddamn druggie.
But I, you know what's interesting though, on the other side, on the liberal side of that, Chris.
Yeah, bullshit.
They cared about you.
Oh, yeah, of course they cared about me. No, they cared about their own insurance is what they cared about, not having me as a liability. That's what they cared about. Because let me tell you something. If some counselor came back and says, "Well, that cocksucker's on cocaine," you're out the fucking door, motherfucker.
Suckers on cocaine.
If you went on the air and did something and they knew about your coke problem and didn't do anything about it, like give you a week off to take care of it.
Look, I was drinking a lot out there. And there are these air checks where I'm talking up a Bruno Mars record, and you can clearly hear me pick up the bottle, drink, and then literally in the middle of the fucking break. I mean, it's great.
That is a coke problem.
So these drugs, I don't even know when you're using cocaine, you're on the cocaine, or
you're on the cocaine. No, I think you're not on the cocaine. I think you're on coke.
You're on the coca.
Yeah.
You're on the cocaine.
Aren't you just high?
Well, you could be anything, but if somebody wants to describe it, you'd have my mother, which could be cocaine tablets, as she would say, or marijuana, or you could be drinking, or, Christopher's fucked up. Okay.
I'll tell you what, marijuana in the 70s, marijuana was about as bad as it got where we came from, most of us. Now, marijuana, the people are like, who the fuck cares?
It's legal in lots of places now.
I got my sister in so much trouble. It's 1979. And, you're at that age. You're 4 years old, and you're just overhearing shit. So, my sister was out front with a guy that she was dating, and I got it wrong. I said, Mom, and yes, Christopher, Diane's boyfriend, Pot, is outside doing Bubba. And she's what, Christopher? And she walks out front, and there's Bubba doing Pot. I got it backwards. So
back in the 70s, when marijuana was not my thing ever, drugs just weren't my thing ever, but we did try marijuana. Sure. And I remember climbing through the rafters to the top of our barn to hide the marijuana up there, because marijuana was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you were a high school student in 1978, 79. It was, 16, 17-year-olds, unless you were one of the heads. And that's what we called the people who used, who smoked a lot of pot. They were potheads. So They were called heads. So in my school, there were heads, grits. The grits were like the guys who were in shop and were always gritty and dirty looking. There were jocks.
Is that why the stores where you could buy like bongs and stuff were called head shops?
Head shops, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It never occurred to me that's what they were called.
What did you think?
Welcome to the
stuff,
culture, Jess.
Getting in my head, and that's why
I honestly never had a thought about why they were called head shops.
God, why is that a head shop? There's no blowjobs happening here. Good. God.
I was thinking something entirely different.
What's your worst drug experience? Worst drug experience, Wally. What is it?
You know what? I don't have I have a worse alcohol experience.
I'll give you my alcohol experience too, but my drug experience.
I don't have.
I was in high school, and this girl that I was with, she was getting fucked up. I didn't realize it. She's a lesbian now, but that's not why she's fucked up. But I had a tuna sandwich over at her house, and some of her friends were over, and somebody put a hit of acid on my tuna sandwich. Okay. So I jump in, I take a bite of this tuna sandwich. I'm sitting there, and Jurassic Park is on TV. These muscles that I didn't know that I had right around my asshole, when I saw the first thing come out, propelled me about 6 feet in the air behind the sofa, and I hid for a while.
Really?
That's my drug experience. My alcohol experience. Julie and I went to a Christmas party at a bowling alley that the radio station rented out a whole bowling alley, and I was doing this new thing called lemon drops. And
I remember those.
Oh yeah. So somehow we got home. I don't know how we got home, but got back up, got into the bedroom, and we had a waterbed frame that had a regular mattress in it. So it's got that like edge around the side.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And I wasn't feeling good, and I got up to go take a crap, but my foot got caught as I was standing up between the mattress and the bed, and I fell straight on the ground and started shitting everywhere. Okay, I'm shitting everywhere, and worse than that is I'm laying there. I can't make any noise, Julie is sound to fucking sleep, and the beagle comes over and starts licking up the shit.
No, that's not true. That is not true.
That is a 100% true story.
That
if I
is
was still
a
talking
lie.
to wife number one, she would verify it.
Oh,
That
Absolutely.
is not. Oh my word!
100% true.
Holy, no way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But wait, what was it an enjoyable experience? Was he licking your ass?
No. He was licking up the shit that was coming down my leg. He was like licking it up like it was a chocolate fountain. Okay,
that's a lie.
like he
Like
was
you're
like
at
it
a
was
bad wedding.
like it was a dog at the Golden Corral. That's what it was like. Okay,
It's the Alpo fountain.
So that's
Here
my
comes
drinking
the
story.
gravy train.
What about you, Wally?
well,
What's your bad drinking?
I think I've told this one before, but my worst bout with something was alcohol, and it was doing the Johnny Fever thing at the radio station.
Oh Jesus!
Doing state police giving me the take shots to show how booze affects your reaction.
Oh no, you haven't told that.
Stuff. Oh, you sure?
Yeah, I don't think so. Chris, does it sound familiar to you?
Vaguely, but only because I'm remembering the episode of KRP. Because Johnny didn't get drunk, but Venus did, right?
He got better. Johnny got way
Johnny
better.
got better on the air. Yeah,
Get faster at all of it. No, not me. So I would take a shot, and then this was over the course of 2, maybe 3 hours, and I was doing like a shot every 15 or 20 minutes or something like that, or maybe a half hour. And I'm a lightweight to begin with. And I think probably by the time I had done 5 shots, I was fucked up. And they couldn't let me talk anymore because I started saying things to people in the building. I'm looking for a job. Just saying stuff about big tits on that one or whatever it was. But Jody had to come take me home. And she had the kids in the car.
Oh God!
And I was bawling and crying and all kinds of things. So, but here, because there's a history there. So part of the reason why I ended up in foster care at 3 years old was because my father, my sperm donor, DNA donor, was a raging alcoholic.
Oh.
And I had already had surgery by the time I was 3 because of him.
Oh,
So that's part of the reason why I say. So all that started coming in, and I'd already been in some therapy for that kind of stuff, but that all came back with that alcohol. And I just didn't drink that much at all, other than social, so that was the first time I had been drunk in forever. Even in college, I wouldn't get drunk, just the way I was. So yeah, so I'm sobbing and crying, and we had to pull over, and I had to puke. And that's probably the last time I was ever drunk too.
can you imagine that he's at the radio station? Yeah, the receptionist up there. Gosh, she's got some big old titties on a receptionist. Okay, that's Fred, the sales manager, Wally.
That's really what was happening, and they had to stop me. So, okay,
Oh my
that's
God.
it. The experiment's over, as you can see, folks. And then somebody else came out there and said, as you can see, it really affects because he was giving me like the Johnny Fever, like he had a thing where you had to do depth perception, a little thing we had to line up some shit, and then a speed if I remember, Johnny just got faster at everything and better at all of it. Me, no, I was drunk. I was bad. Jess, what about you?
I mean, I've told my, I think, worst drinking story here because it's how I got the job at FRE. I know I told that story with the band and the shots and the puking all over myself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, drug wise, though, I've never done anything stronger than marijuana, and I don't have any marijuana horror stories because when you smoke weed, you just get chill and have some snacks and everything's fine. But I do have, when I was in Texas, I had gone to, they had just started a hockey team in Central Texas. And so the radio station would go out and broadcast live before the hockey games. And then we'd go out on the ice in the middle and do contests and stuff. Well, while we were out front of the arena, we had a big setup, and we had, people could hit a hockey puck into a thing and win prize, all of the things. And as we were breaking that down, and we were trying to put everything back in the van. An intern was carrying a big speaker, and he came over and dropped it on my foot.
Nice.
And I didn't know until late. Like, I knew that I had a broken toe, but I didn't know until later that it was shattered. So I went home like after the game thinking, and actually once we were inside, like I knew my toe was broken, but there's nothing they can really do for you when you have a broken toe. So I didn't worry about it. I just went inside and suffered. When it was time to go on the ice, I couldn't do it. But so I'm sitting up in one of the seats, and this guy is climbing over the seats to get somewhere. And I don't know why he didn't go to the end, but I saw him coming, and I'm backing up going, wait a minute, wait, let me get out of the way, as he steps over and stomps on the same foot.
Fuck.
Right. So I get home after the game, and I take off my shoe, and there's blood everywhere, and I take off my sock, and I immediately call one of my coworkers, and I'm like, can you please come take me to the hospital right now? And so it turned out the toe was shattered, like just
wow.
Shattered. And so they gave me some drugs so that they could clean it out without me, screaming.
Right.
And then they gave me a painkiller. What the hell was it called?
Oxy what?
It wasn't Oxy.
Codone what?
No, I think it started with an N. I can't think of what it's called.
Naproxen?
What's that?
Naproxen.
No. Like a serious painkiller.
Oh, oh God, what is that shit called?
Anyway,
I can't remember. Yeah,
I had no experience. I had no experience at this point with like serious painkillers, and I was 23, 24. So I'd never had anything like this before. So I didn't know that taking it before going on the air was a bad idea.
Oh, Christ.
So, and at this particular radio station, here's what we had to say every time we opened the mic. Temple Colleen's all-hit music station, The Nerve, 105.5 KNRV. Every time. Now, when I was on this drug that I can't think of the name of, I said, and I could clearly hear, my brain was fine. Like I was very clear on what I was saying, but I could not fix the fact that it was coming out like this. Temple Colleen's all-hit music station, The Nerve, 105.5 KNRV.
Oh, that's hot.
And so once I realized I couldn't stop myself from doing that, I think I missed a break, or I skipped a break, or I didn't say all of that because I was just trying to get through the shift. And I actually got written up for not saying Temple Colleen's all-hit music station, The Nerve, 105.5 KNRV. Yeah.
You know what's fucked up is how many I've interviewed in that market, in the Killeen market. What is there, 4 stations there? The fuck do you got to say anything for to identify yourself?
Well, but there's also, it's so close to like Waco and some other markets. And we were actually in competition with the pop station in Waco. And that station, because we did not beat them, this was a brand new station. We had started it up. Because we did not beat the Waco station, the first book, we all got fired. They flipped a station to oldies.
You didn't beat them the first book? Well,
no.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Yeah, I know. Beating a heritage station that everyone in that metro has been listening to for their entire lives.
Killeen, the Nerve, enough times.
Yeah.
That's one of those fucking things that only programmers come up with.
Oh, right. And 105.5 is always a shitty frequency. It doesn't matter what city you're in.
Yeah.
It's not a strong, it's never strong.
And it wasn't a programmer, it was a consultant.
Jess.
Mm-hmm.
Think about our days in the Syracuse area. Wow, 105.5. They were fucking horrible.
We tortured
you were
that
on a
station.
105.5 there too.
No, we competed with a 105.5 who we crushed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
they were called Wow 105.5.
Yeah, and we crushed them.
We used to call them while we were on the air at Kiss 102. We would call Wow 105 and win their contests.
Right.
And then they would say, tell us what station just made you a winner. And we would yell, Kiss 102!
And then give away their prizes.
Yep.
It was my fault. I know we've told that story before, but I think back about that, and that's fucking fun radio.
That
was fun shit.
I would have been pissed if I was at that station.
Oh yeah, but they were pissed. Well, and part of the reason why we did that is the guy who was the sort of the PD over there. I forget. I think he was another one of those. He used JJ on the air. There's fucking been 8 billion JJs, right?
Yeah.
But he was at Rock 107, and I asked him if he wanted to come over to our station. He said, "No, you fucking guys don't know what you're fucking doing. You're gonna blah blah blah. I'm going over here." And, okay, pal. So I made it
about that.
I made it part of my mission to fucking just beat the piss out of him.
I mean, we used to call in birthdays for our friend Mike, last name Hunt.
Yeah. They'd say it on
the air every time.
Yeah. And Dick Hertz from Holden.
There was a TV station down in Raleigh when I was working down there. It was, the local, whatever the local news station would be on cable, one of the networks usually provides it. Right. And it just runs in a loop. So the screen's running in a loop, and they got an ice storm down there for like the first time. And they had this thing on the website where you just go to the website and type in what was closed, and it would eventually get onto the screen.
This sounds like an Anchorman moment happening.
Sounds great.
I remember, the guys are just, so the news is just on a loop, but you're reading at the bottom of the screen, Cecil's Cock Ring Emporium, back up tomorrow.
Back up tomorrow.
Yeah, or, Two-Tone Incorporated closed today, code red, call 867-5309 to know more. I mean, the amount of shit, Colonel Angus Chicken was closed.
Colonel Angus.
Yeah, P-NIS reunion service. I mean, it was just... It was fucking. We stayed home from work, fucking watch this thing all goddamn day. It was great.
Yeah, we had those. I never did anything like that on any of those. I wasn't bright enough to do that. But we've had those public access where some radio station usually sponsors the underlying music.
Yeah,
and the scribing. And whenever you go to it, there would always be that shit because you could type in shit, happy birthdays to people and stuff. And that shit would go by 2 or 3 times before someone would catch it. And it would always be like, fuck your mother or something like that. I fucked your mother, blah, blah, blah. We're like, oh my God. Because
you ever see the one about the flight when I think it was a Japanese plane that went down, and somebody claiming to be with the whoever investigates plane accidents. Not the
FTA?
FAA, but whatever. Whatever.
FTA.
FAA?
No, the transit.
Yeah, whoever they are, but he claimed to be from that body of the government, and we've confirmed that on this Japanese plane, the 4 pilots are no longer with us. Their names, exclusively released to Channel 4, are Sum Ting Wong.
Jesus Christ.
Ouch, boom, wow. It was awful. It was fucking terrible. So, and the woman 30 minutes later, I'm sorry, we received bad information. I bet the fuck you did.
Because you're not bright, because they're so desperate. They're always so fucking desperate to be breaking news, first to tell you. You know what? I don't fucking care if you're the first to tell me anything. What I really want you to be able to do is tell me what really happened.
Well, and that's what was written on the wall down at WTOP when I was working there in big letters. Get it right, then get it first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get it right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I could not agree with ye more. By the way, Chris, you're sounding much better today.
It's because of the acid.
Now that I'm dropping acid.
So is that what it is? You're taking some sort of acid lowering.
Wally, what you missed was that in the beginning, I said to Chris, well, you sound better. Did you go to the doctor? And he said no. And then talked about the acid.
Taking acid pills.
Mm-hmm.
So just too much acid buildup in your body?
That's what it seems to be. And I haven't had an incident in a week. And this was happening 3 times in a week. But I haven't had anything in a week. I feel fine. My stomach is reasonably settled. I mean, it'll never be fully settled because I don't have a gallbladder. So,
right.
But... and I'm not feeling like I'm going to throw up.
Yeah, and you know what? Not having a gallbladder, my son doesn't have one, so I know this is the shit. I always say,
Pardon the pun.
Don't eat hot and spicy. Limit your dairy. Try to stay away from alcohol.
Oh, I can't processed fried food.
Greasy food, fried food. Stay away from it.
Yeah,
all the good shit in life.
I mean, it didn't stop me from going to Raising Cane's today. So, like, you know what? I really want to go to this place because it's over here, and I had 3 chicken tenders, French fries, and a piece of Texas toast.
Now, is that the Herman Cain place?
I don't think. No, this is CANE, isn't it? Yeah, this is CANE, like cane sugar.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know because wasn't Herman Cain? Didn't he create some sort of chicken place? The guy who ran for president, who died, Herman Cain.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I haven't heard.
Remember
that.
he ran for president a few years.
No, I remember he
but
ran for president.
I don't remember anything about chicken.
Yeah, I think he owned I think he created a chicken. That's how he became wealthy on chicken franchises. And I don't know if it was Raising Cain or not, but it was something. But I saw someone said their chicken sucks. Is that true, Chris?
The person on my timeline didn't like their chicken. I thought the Texas toast was good. The chicken was, it was a little greasy, but 3 tenders, and I 40 minutes away, I had to shit like a howitzer.
Speaking of the chicken,
yeah.
I just saw this is a real thing. I was listening to the news and on the radio news, and they were giving the list of the 3 top chicken restaurants, fast food restaurants in the country.
Yes.
And the Colonel is no longer up there at all. It is Chick-fil-A, Popeyes. The Colonel is 3rd.
And the Chick-fil-A, I just, their chicken, doesn't thrill me.
It's not that good.
It's gross.
Popeye's sandwich is great, and the red beans and rice is good, but KFC, I think, has the best nuggets out of anybody.
KFC has the best nuggets. They have the best fries for sure.
Oh, the fries were off the fucking hook. I got those the other day. Holy shit.
They're fucking off they're fucking fantastic. Popeye's chicken is pretty bland.
Yeah, it's shit.
Yeah, it is shit. And Chick-fil-A, they fucking have the sandwich and sweet tea, and that's it. They have the Chick-fil-A sandwich which Jess wouldn't eat because it has a pickle on it.
No, not just that it has a pickle on it. They marinate that shit in pickle.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Chicken marinated in pickle juice is pretty good. It is, and it really doesn't. It doesn't taste like pickle at all.
No, it does.
It's really
it sure does.
It's just the vinegar that tenderizes it. Well, I don't know what kind of pickles they're using. They're using the wrong kind of pickle.
They're using the kind of pickle that we like in the shed. That's what kind of pickle they use, man.
You know what? It doesn't take long for Chris to take this thing in the other direction.
Well, it doesn't take long for Wally to take this thing either. Now look at that, Wally. You taking the pickle out in the shed too, ain't you?
All right, Ned Beatty, you just leave me alone.
Oh, God.
You just leave me alone. That, by the way, is a fantastic movie. You know what we watched today? Hey, what happened to James? What happened to Jim Belushi? We watched a Canine today.
What did you watch?
Canine.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
He's a cop and he has a German Shepherd dog. He becomes his partner.
Is that from like 1993 or something?
It might be. It may be before that, but yeah, it's somewhere in there in that range.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's like Canine Cop or something.
Belushi never thrilled me.
I like
I mean, and honestly, neither Belushi ever thrilled me.
No, I was not a fan of the John Belushi.
He was just fat and stupid. That's the way to go through life, right?
Oh,
I mean, it's working for me.
Working for me too.
It's worked for me as well. I mean, I made a fucking career out of it.
I made a career out of fat and stupid as well. Oh, you know what I was going to say, Jess? When you were talking about your hockey misadventure, I hope that people are figuring out or have figured out by this time. If for anybody who's ever worked in radio, you can sum up the basic radio employee in a couple of words. And the big word is whore. We're just whores.
Basically,
you're fucked up. That's the radio mantra. You're fucked up.
You're fucked up and whores because you fucking got to do every bullshit thing that amuses.
For free.
Yeah, for free to amuse the fucking masses, who then later on call you and tell you what a fucking asshole you are because you won't play their song.
Or who get mad at you because you ran out of T-shirts before they bothered to walk over to see you.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those the fucking people. And I was also, so I've been listening to some of our first, I think I've gotten through the first 4 or 5 shows trying to find some best ofs. It's a little difficult. Just kidding. And Chris, I was thinking a couple weeks ago, this was in one of the first few shows. Chris mentioned, we were talking about the station van and how girls go gaga for the station van. And Chris said, until they find out you're giving away, I don't know, half off, buy one, get one Burger Hut.
Yeah, Arby's coupons. That's when they want to get the fuck away from you.
Giving away those. It reminded me of a radio stunt when I was working in New Hampshire. There was a big home. Remember when home shows were huge? Mm-hmm. Every station in the fucking market would be at the home show giving out all kinds of fucking fabulous things.
I think, by the way, they are still huge. We just don't know about it because we are not required to go there anymore.
Yeah, no, so I go.
Yeah, they're still a thing.
Yeah, they're still a thing, but I don't think they're as big. And I think part of the reason why they're not as big is because you don't get 20 station booths anymore. You get 3 booths, each one representing 6 radio stations.
Yeah.
Giving away, some pens, lollipops, and I don't know, some magnets for the refrigerator, which are fucking useless because everybody has stainless steel refrigerators, which magnets don't stick to. Mm-hmm. Hello. So but radio hasn't figured that out. But there was a station passing out. There was a new country station in town, and they were passing out win $1,000 somethings, or I don't know what the fuck it was. It was win something big. And we were trading those. I was going around to all the people who got those. I was giving them free Pizza Hut personal pan pizzas if they give me their coupon to win the $1,000.
Now, see, when I first got to Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, we were starting up a new country station. There was a monster station in the market. They still dominate the market. They're one of the Froggy stations.
Oh yeah,
and so I was new to the market. So they knew, the powers that be, my PD knew that the other station wouldn't know who I was when I went to a country concert, and started approaching people in Froggy 101 t-shirts and offering them an envelope full of cash to give me that t-shirt and put on one of ours instead.
How good is that?
So I was just wandering around. Nobody knew who I was. And I would just walk up to people that were wearing Froggy 101 t-shirts and say, hey, there's $100 in here. Will you wear this t-shirt instead of that one? And they would give me the Froggy t-shirt, and we would take it back and have a collection. And we did that for probably 5 or 6 concerts before Froggy mailed us one of our t-shirts that had been burned and said, thanks for the $100.
It's so, but okay, that's fucking fun radio.
Yeah. We used to, oh my God,
radio.
We had at that station, because we were we were nobody. We were no threat to them whatsoever. So we would just blatantly go after them. We had station license plates, and they finally had to start posting somebody out by their van, because at every single remote, we would sneak in and put one of our license plates on the front of their van. Every single time. So they finally had to have somebody guard their van. There was one remote that they did, and they sent their little stunt boy from the morning show. They sent him to do the remote. Well, our whole air staff, dressed in our station t-shirts, bringing Rolly banners, showed up at this bar. The only employee from Froggy was their stunt boy. We had our whole air staff, our Rolly banners, and some of our P1 listeners. We bannered the whole bar. It looked like it was our remote.
Oh, that stuff was, and for the most part, so people can understand, that stuff was done in fun.
Oh, for sure. I actually, the stunt boy came over and we were talking to each other and just joking around. And he said, are we supposed to be friends? And I was like, I mean, not officially, but personally, that's fine. We don't hate each other.
It's funny.
look, people always get along. Like out in
Yes.
when I was in Winchester, all of us that programmed AC stations within 20 miles of one another, we'd all get together for dinner once a month.
Actually, Chris, you may know that stunt boy because he ended up being on is Tommy.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, that's who it was.
Oh, that's funny. Tommy McFly.
McFly, yes. Yep.
Yeah.
We had a stunt boy on our morning show. Our
We
guy
did?
who we had a stunt boy.
Roadrunner. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we had the other guy too. The other part-time guy. I can't remember his name. He hung out with Roadrunner.
Was it the guy
he
with
was like-
glasses?
Yeah, and he was a better looking kid. He was a little younger. He'd be like the guy who would go pick up the comedians if we brought in a comedian from the morning show, he'd go get him. He would go out with Roadrunner most often.
Yeah.
And he would be our equivalent of a stunt boy. I mean, we didn't really have a stunt boy, but he was our equivalent of it. Remember we had the guy who he had some sort of epilepsy or something. He had seizures and he fell through one of those big windows at the station.
Yeah. Who was that?
I don't remember, but I do remember he fell through the window and that was boarded up for a little while. And he didn't work for us anymore because he didn't have insurance. He got hurt.
There's that happens all too often. No, seriously, it does. I've got a tape somewhere of this woman who was on the air at Eagle 97 somewhere in Delaware, and she's what do you call them now? Short people, short persons,
Little people.
So little people. She's about
Little
4 foot,
Lilliputians.
4 foot tall. Okay, woman's got a beautiful voice, but 4 feet tall. So it was a stand-up studio. So they built her like this 3-stair thing to get up to the board.
Right.
Okay. And she's, and again, 100% truth. I can send you the air check. She's up on her perch, if you will, and you hear Eagle 97 weather. You hear partly sunny today and a high, and you hear her hit her head on the microphone and fall to the floor.
Oh, fuck.
And
Was she
after about 15 seconds of the music bed playing, you hear her go, I can't believe I just fell.
Oh.
I can't believe I just fell. It was great.
She's in concussion protocol. They cart her off into the little tent and work on her a little bit. Help her out.
God almighty. You talk about the things at remotes, just taking over somebody's remote, like, wallpapering the bar with your own stuff. I remember this one time. We were at a remote. It was all the air staff. It was only one person from across the street, guy that worked here. It was AM FM at that point. And it was the guy that worked there. So we killed him. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
Now that's guerrilla fucking radio.
That is
right there,
guerrilla
buddy.
fucking radio.
That's guerrilla fucking radio. What did you do? You fucked the stunt boy in the ass and then killed him. Jesus. And then the next time we killed him and then fucked him in the ass.
The other way around. I have bloodied my lip on the microphone before. I've turned my head to read something or grab something and turned back and lost my orientation on where I was and to the microphone, bashed my mouth on the microphone and fucking cut it wide open on the. I've done that before, and I've asked that before. So, Jess, you talk to the microphone straight on, right?
Yeah.
So I have it a little always to the right.
I probably should turn it a little bit so that it doesn't, because I still catch a lot of, even with the windscreen, I still catch a lot of pops.
Right. Now I don't hear very many pops from you. Chris, what about you?
I hear it when I'm editing my
Wally,
audiobooks.
So Wally, you have it a little cocked, is what you're saying?
Yes, I have it a little cocked. It's something you're familiar with, I know.
I have it to the side, kind of like what you've got right now.
Yeah. I have mine to the right or left. Does it matter to you?
Doesn't matter, but usually to the right.
Yeah, to me it matters to the right, and I think it matters because.
Are we still talking about a little cock?
Yes, a little cock that curves to the right.
Okay.
You got it right. Well, mostly because all the microphone controls are to the left, right, on the board. So I want them out of my way so I can see what's going on. And when we this is kind of a weird one too. When I when I remember my first gig, the rack was usually to the left. The rack for like when recording and all that stuff in the studio, which is weird since most people are right-handed. Why it would be on the left, but most often it's to the left.
Yeah, that's
which
correct.
where turntables tended to be. Turntables were always on the left side.
Yeah.
Everything, the phone recorder.
All to the left, even though the only thing that was to the right that I remember most often were cart machines. Cart machines were usually to the right. And then everything else was to the left, which, maybe that's why I was more ambidextrous. Maybe that's why my wife liked me, because I could use both hands. That might be it. That probably the tittle.
Wally, you use two hands because there was two tits. Okay.
Oh, right. You're assuming there's two breasts.
Well, I'm hoping for your sake and everyone else's involved that there are two bazooms.
Yes. There are two bazooms. So I saw. You remember a couple of weeks ago I was mentioning that people get lost behind this shit, but I was mentioning that the Home Depot already had all their fucking Christmas shit up, and how stressful that is. I saw a friend of ours. Oh, it just reminded me, Kelly, Shannon. It reminded me of an event that it wasn't us that was drunk. But her now husband, who was her boyfriend at the time,
Steve.
Do you remember? It was a St. Patrick's Day pub crawl.
Yeah.
Downtown Utica, New York. And Steve was in the back of the Kiss van, and I don't know who was driving. Whoever was the most sober at the time.
Oh, I was going to say it was probably Roadrunner because he always drove, but I doubt he was the most sober.
Probably not. So it was probably me. And I hit the gas too hard, and he went flying out of the back of the van into the street.
Attaboy.
Just saying, it makes me laugh because
attaboy.
He was just rolling in the street and just laying there, and Shannon's like, Steve. And,
I had a guy talking to me yesterday.
The poor bastard just laying in the street, and we of course, stop, Steve's in the street. Oh, it was too good. Oh, son of a bitch.
I had this guy that was talking to me a couple of days ago, and he was talking about radio in Utica, because he used to work in Utica. And he said his first station was in Herkimer. Where the hell is that?
That's where Wow 105 was.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's sort of between Rome and Utica, wasn't it?
No, Herkimer's on the other side.
Okay, this guy worked at your call letters, Wally and Herkimer, WALY.
I don't know that station.
WALY.
Herkimer was. So I lived in Amherst, which was after Whitesville or whatever. It was in the other direction.
Isn't Amherst over toward Buffalo?
Well, that's
Little Amherst, New York. Was it Amherst? Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it was Amherst, Wally.
Was it? I'll have to ask Jody. No, New Hartford. I'm sorry, New Hartford.
Yep, that's where you lived.
Yeah,
Amherst was Virginia. When I lived in Virginia, it was Amherst.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What was his? Do you remember his name?
His name's Mark Williams, and that's actually his real name, Mark Williams.
Jeez. Wish I could.
ALY though, that doesn't sound familiar to me.
ALY was 1420.
Oh, it was AM?
Yeah.
Oh, it was AM.
We didn't fuck with AM.
No.
Except for the one in our building with that was Warm, right? WARM?
I think Warm was the FM AM combo. Warm is where Norma's son worked on Warm.
And Jack.
My first gigs were AM radio.
Mine too.
My first gig was
mine kind of was because I did AM with Sonny King.
Yeah,
on the oldie station.
My first paid gig was AM, and my second paid gig was AM in Worcester, Mass. WORC in Worcester, Massachusetts.
I was doing the AM FM combo. WRC, Yes FM and WKRT.
Oh, WKRT. And Sonny King. Sonny King was absolutely a good guy, a great guy.
Yes.
But absolutely the epitome of a radio DJ kid.
Yep.
He was back then, he was a 45-year-old man who was absolutely a teenager, he had his sporty car, and he had wore the clothes and the hat and the cologne, and his whole life was built around being, youthful, but he was the epitome of what radio was.
Yep.
Then
here's what's funny is when I first started there, and I was an intern when I first started, and I was a news intern, and so
for Greg,
yep. I tried to get that job. They gave the job to Greg and then hired me as an intern. And then when Greg would go out on vacation, or when Greg eventually left, then I would do that job. And I just remember, I think it's once I was actually working there full time. And I had been out like for my birthday or something with the real Sharon Steele. And we had been drinking tequila sunrise. And my birthday was on like a Wednesday or something. And so when I came into work at 5 a.m., yes, I was still drunk. Thank you for asking. But I was trying so hard to pull it together and be on the air because I had a serious news job and people depended on me because of, news credibility. Like I took this shit very seriously. And I just remember, I don't know if Jackie Onassis died or if just something else happened, but I had to say Jacqueline Onassis several times in a news story. And when you're still drunk, Jacqueline Onassis is not something that's easy to say. And Sonny, that's basically what it sounded like. And Sonny was on the AM, the oldie station, and then Dave, I think at that point it was Dave on the mornings on the FM station.
Yeah, I was gone then.
Yeah. And Sonny was making fun of me on the air and talking about how I was still drunk from the night before. And in my teeny tiny little 21-year-old brain, as far as I knew, the people who were listening to an AM oldies station were nice little old ladies who used to call in and talk about what a nice girl I sounded like. And here's Sonny telling everybody I'm drunk on tequila still at 5 o'clock in the morning when I come into work. I was horrified.
And so the lesson there, however, is there's a guy who knew his audience.
Yeah.
Absolutely knew his audience.
For sure he did. I didn't know his audience, but he knew.
Yeah.
I'm just hearing this guy going, all right, partly sunny 78 today. That drunk whore with the news on the way. Here's Tommy James.
I mean, basically.
Yeah, and I will. So Sonny was a throwback disc jockey.
Yeah.
But fucking good. Mm-hmm. Just good. Knew his audience.
I mean, perfect for an oldie station. Absolutely
perfect for an oldie station. Had all the quips, all the fucking data stored in his fucking head. Mm-hmm. Had his own fucking disc jockey business in a van and would go out and do shows and fucking retirement homes and dances and weddings and all that.
So doesn't he still do all of that stuff?
I think he does. He was the epitome.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the guy that does the weather and says, chance of a shower tonight. Maybe you'll take one as well. Overnight low 41.
That is Sonny. But the kind of guy that you enjoyed listening to him because he was friendly and fucking just on topic and
funny as hell.
Funny as hell. And he didn't worry about the fucking fire downtown. He would say, something like, you might want to avoid downtown. It's a little warm down there right now. But he wouldn't tell you, it's hotter on that end of town than it is on this end of town. So stay up here. It was good. And he had a radio voice.
Mm-hmm. And there's disc jockeys, that make the transition into doing other things. And there's this big jock used to be in Chicago and they went to Baltimore named Ron Riley. Okay.
We had Ron Riley.
Well, this is Ron Riley. And Ron Riley, I knew him from hosting, guess what? Bowling for Dollars on TV. But Ron Riley eventually makes it to WTOP and he's doing the weather. And everybody called him Smiley Riley because it didn't matter what was happening. he was going to smile and laugh. So, all right, here's Ron with a look at the weather. Ron, not too good out there tonight, huh? Tornado watching cloud right over top of Bethesda right now. Loss of life, no doubt at all. Jesus Christ.
So all of that, I would guys, I would so love to listen to a guy like that today.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
love to hear these people, those same people today, not just that sort of radio today. I want to fucking hear that shit. Please make mistakes. Please laugh at yourself. Please enjoy what you're doing. Please be honest. Just fucking do it instead of this perfection. I think, Chris, one time, Chris, you said that it might have been one of your exes or some chick you had been banging who worked at the station.
Yeah.
Who had to make sure her voice track was perfect.
Oh, my second wife.
No mistakes in it.
Second wife would record her breaks onto the Vox Pro and then play them live over the track on the air so that she would be able to make sure it was perfect and timed out and hit the post.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Whenever I had to do a voice track, if I fucked up, I
left it in there.
Same.
Me too. Left it in because it was the only part of it that could at all sound real. And you at least when you listen to it, you say, oh, that can't be recorded.
Well, and that's when I'd even say, oh, live radio. What the hell can you do?
Right.
You know, and just keep on going with the break.
Exactly. I'm with you on that because most stations, well, now there's not even a question, but back then when maybe only a third or a quarter of the stations were doing voice tracking, you could still, you could tell the stations that were voice tracking or what shows it were. You just listen, you say, you just fucking could hear it. You could hear that it was voice tracked by the delivery, by the content.
I mean, I'm essentially voice tracked now.
Well, yeah, you are. I mean, that's because that's what you do. But you remember, I might have brought this up before, but in the early 80s, maybe it probably extended into the 90s too, the satellite fed stations, but they had like the local IDs.
SMN, Satellite Network.
Right. And there was a station up in Frederick, Jess, the one across the street from us, that ran a format called Format 41. And that was because they were trying to get the 41-year-old female listener.
Yeah.
And the guy is on the air and he's all crystal clear, but there was no engineer at this station. So you'd hear off of the network and more of today's favorites and yesterday's oldies coming up on Q103. So
yeah,
we've gotten a little bit better since then.
A little bit, yeah.
There's so many different. So I worked at a station that had the reel to reel. You know, you had the big, 12-inch reels with 1 kilohertz tones on them and shit to fire off stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck, those were the best when you'd put the reel on at the wrong speed or some shit, and you never listen to. So the one thing about those stations are, at least as a person who programmed, and Jess and Chris both programmed, I would listen to the stations I programmed that had real people on them. And I wouldn't listen to them to see if the jocks were fucking up or I was listening to see, does it sound good? Does it sound flowy? Is it working? Are the things we're doing, are we doing okay to do a segue from this to that and then do a liner or do a jingle or blah 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 blah. I was listening to that shit. Does it sound? Do I have too much music? This kind of programming, blah blah blah. When I was programming a station that was a reel-to-reel station or a fucking satellite station or anything, I fucking never listened to them. I didn't give a shit because I had nothing vested in it. And that would just be a station part of it. So that would be mostly if you had 3 stations under your wing.
Yeah, because at a station like that, you're just the babysitter.
Yeah, you have nothing to do with it. So oftentimes those stations would go for fucking, 6 hours with a fucking, the reel was fucked up or the fucking liners were firing in the middle of songs, fucking you had the wrong fucking jingles in there. Good morning at 4 PM. That bullshit. I never would catch it because fucking, I have no pride in it. I don't give a shit what they're doing on this station.
Yeah.
I'm just here to fucking sign an affidavit to say we played the Westwood One spots.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, and that's all you're really doing is you're just saying, we played all those fucking Rolaids commercials. we did that, and we played the Hooked on Phonics. Sign off it. That's another part of if I was an advertiser back then, I wouldn't have believed any of that shit.
Mm-mm.
Because half the shit those guys were paying for never ran.
Yep.
I mean, that's my experience.
Like, it's amazing that they continued to spend money on radio advertising.
Oh, for fucking sure. I can't.
Because they're obviously not getting
shocked.
results, despite the whole radio gets results campaign.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Radio gets results if you actually play these commercials.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't play the commercials, well, they don't. And I still hear. I every now and again tune in to listen to local radio, and it's so fucking bad. And it's still how do you have so little shit, actual local content, and you can't get it right? In a 24-hour period, you may have a sum total of 4 hours of live content
Mm-hmm.
or of locally produced content. And half the fucking time it's wrong. Wrong commercials, end dates are wrong because they're firing the wrong shit. Just, hey, this Christmas, it's fucking July. Why is that still in rotation?
Listen, not everybody
for
can
one,
afford Sir Mix-a-Lot for their Chex Mix commercials.
So
I'm going to be looking for that.
So the Hagerstown station I was listening to yesterday, the AM up there, they're playing the Percy Faith records, right? And then there's a commercial that's done by, I guess, the sales manager. It says, "We would like to help you at blah, blah, blah broadcasting company get through these uncertain times." What? We've hung up the fucking mask, haven't we? I mean, this is, you know.
You hear a lot of that now on television, radio, just that in general, moving away from radio a little bit, but just, man, every fucking Gold Bar selling
Jesus,
survival food bucket in these uncertain times.
Mhm.
What fucking uncertain times are you fucking talking about?
Right.
Who the fuck is having a problem?
the worst commercial I've had, the Tom Selleck commercials for the reverse mortgage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you've seen those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were originally 60-second spots. And I didn't want to pay for 60s anymore. So they turned them into 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're listening to the 60-second spot or watching it, what Tom says makes sense. But then you cut it to the 30 and it begins with, "This isn't my first rodeo." Blah, blah, blah. What the fuck does that even mean? This isn't my first rodeo. You're not fucking a horse in the ass, Tom. You're talking about taking Granny's house. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. They do that with a ton of commercials. Like I like the who's the fucking guy who the buy back your insurance. Well, buy your insurance policy from you. And these
the
uncertain
annuity
times-
commercials.
Yes, those are thieves and robbers.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Absolutely.
fucking people are thieves and robbers. What is that guy's name who does that? What the fuck is his name? Oh, he does all of them. Most of them. All I can think of is H.G. Wells, but it's not H.G.
Oh,
Wells.
J.G. Wentworth.
Yeah, Wentworth. That's a J.G. Wentworth.
Yeah.
H.G. Wells.
H.G. Wells. That would be something. I wonder what he would get for a commercial.
It is J.G. Wentworth. They do all that fucking, and if you've gotten a settlement and you want to get I want my money now.
Yeah.
I got a $1.2 million settlement and J.G. Wentworth gave me $200,000 for it. Well, you're fucking a dumbass motherfucker, ain't you? Fucking
You dumb
stupid
cuck.
fool. They are fucking, but now it's with the you hear like the old people going, well, the kids are grown now and they're doing pretty well and they don't need our life insurance. Fuck, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah,
Of
about to
course
say,
they
I
do.
am getting every goddamn penny out of that shit. Come on.
Me too, right here. I'm fucking,
I've probably
Should
been
they go
written out of
before-
the will at this point.
I mean, should they go before
Yo,
me? And I don't say they should go before me, but should they go before me? I'd like to get, every fucking penny out of that I can. But the way that I should, my fucking heart's gonna be in the toilet by the end of next week.
Well,
So
just drop some more acid. You'll be fine.
yeah.
I tell my dad, listen, I want you to leave the Volvo to me. I don't care whatever else you do. I want the Volvo. And I think I've said before, I have a sister who's in she just turned 55 and she's in an assisted living facility. Mm-hmm. And so she's paraplegic, paraplegic, waist down. And then she had a stroke. So she only got one arm working. And, and it's easy to laugh at because she's my sister. Right. So because she laughs about it too. She called me the other day. I fell out of my chair. And you can't, but there's nothing you can do. It's your sister. You go like, oh, Jesus Christ. Paula, what happened? I was leaning to pet a dog and fell out of my chair. And it's just just funny stuff. But my dad tells me I'm going to be the executor of her when he dies, and he's leaving her money because she needs to be taken care of in the home. And he jokes with me like, and I want you to make sure you take care of her. Of course, Dad. Of course I will. But that's that's a fucking big responsibility. And when you're 30, you don't think of that. When you're 60, you're like, holy fuck. I'm going to be responsible for that bullshit. That's some serious shit. And that's going to be her because she's always whining about shit. I want some white chocolate. Well, you can't have white chocolate. You can't send it. First of all, there's no such thing as white chocolate. It's just sugary white stuff. It doesn't have cocoa and it's not chocolate. I ran out of body wash. I want some puzzle books.
I want to stand up. Yeah, I know. It happens.
Oh my God.
She does.
Look, that was a low hanging pitch you shot right across the fucking plate. Okay.
It was fantastic.
Look at fucking Jess.
I'm gonna pass out. I've expelled too much air.
I think we found our show promo for next week.
I want to stand up.
Look at Jess. Jesus Christ.
How dare you laugh at my sister's inability to stand up, Jess? How dare you? Oh
yeah, God damn you, Jess. God damn it. How could you do that? I have never... 15 years I've known you. I've never seen your face that fucking color. That was pretty good.
Oh, God damn. I need a tissue now. Oh. My eyes are so watery. Oh my gosh.
Oh God.
Okay.
Chris, hey, if you're looking for a best of show, I think this might
there
might
it is.
There.
I'm gonna tell you what, I don't mind being a straight guy if we get those kind of laughs.
See?
I am good with that shit right there. Oh God damn. I actually feel like I need to vomit now.
Well, in that case, my goal has been achieved for the day.
I don't know how we top this. I think we have to end the show now.
See, that's us. That's us toughing it out, right? That we make ourselves. We work so hard, we want to vomit by the end of the show. Oh God damn. All right. I guess, Chris, give it to us.
You want me to pull it out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So this guy decides that he wants to have a threesome, and he's in Thailand, and this girl comes up to him and says, "You come with me and my friend. It'll be like winning the lottery." And the guy says, "Okay." So they all go upstairs and get undressed, and it's like, yeah, it was right. Winning the lottery, 6 pairs of matching balls. And there you go.
Should have saw that come in Thailand.
You should have seen that coming.
Oh God! All right, you guys. Good weekend.
All right.
Enjoy. I'll see
Talk to you next week.